Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. As you see, I got my mixer together. I'm going to make a lemon cake. My daughter requested it. Now I have so many things to make. I'm going to use this Lemon Supreme box cake, and I usually don't use box cakes. I usually make everything from scratch, my cakes, but like I said, I have so many things to cook. I'm making this video during the holidays, so I'm expecting everyone over tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is make this lemon cake, and it will taste like a cake from scratch, actually. And then next, I put Jello instant pudding, the lemon flavor, since she wants lemon. So I'm going to pour that in with the rest of the cake mix. Okay, now the recipe calls for a cup of water. Instead of water, I'm going to use a cup of milk. It calls for 3 eggs. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to use 4. You can even use 5. The vegetable oil, it calls for a 1/3 cup. I'm going to double that and replace it with melted butter, or you can use, I can't believe it's not butter. I don't use margarine in a lot of things. Very seldom do I use margarine. But I'm going to put the 2 1/3, so that would be 2/3 cup. Now I use you could put milk in there, but you know what? I wanted it a little bit more richer, so I put half and half. And half, I think, is half cream and half milk. My bad. Okay, and then I'm going to crack my eggs one at a time. Now with the melted butter, make sure that you don't let it cool off, so that you don't put it in just right out the microwave. And I just measured out I just measured out 1/3 and then 1/3 of melted butter. I didn't put it all at one time so it wouldn't get too hot trying to melt all that butter. So here's the eggs I put in one at a time. I cracked them one at a time. And you want to make sure that your milk, half and half, whatever you're going to use, your milk is room temperature. Your eggs is room temperature. Okay, let's see, where's my other eggs? And you can mix it and put the eggs in while I was mixing. I'm just putting everything in at one time, save a little time. But usually I put the one egg in, mix it for a little bit, second egg, third egg, whatever. But I'll put it in at one time. Okay, that's 4 eggs. I didn't take another egg out, so just leave it at 4 eggs. Now for the speed, I'm just going to put it on the first speed. Now I add a little bit of not extract. I buy this, and you can get this at any craft store like Michael's, Joann's. I even think Lobby Hobby had it, and it's in the cake pan aisles and all that. It's a lemon oil, and the good thing about the lemon oil, look how little it is. The good thing about the lemon oil, it gives it more of a lemony flavor. All you need is a drop or two. Now this cake mix has a lemon flavor, but I want to just add a couple of drops. Oh, that smells so good. It gives it such a good flavor and smell. So again, you can get this lemon oil, and like I say, you only need a couple of drops, but you determine how much you want the flavor, the lemon flavor. And some people just put half of it in there. I don't like all that lemon, but a couple of drops added to that cake mix. And it's already, it says, deliciously moist cake mix. So, you know, and this is Duncan Hines. So I'm just going to let that mix for a little bit. And I'm going to preheat my oven, which I should have done already, but I'm going to preheat my oven to 350, and we're going to, I have an 8-inch pan, so that's going to be 22 to 27 minutes according to the directions on the box. Now also what I need, just a second, let me go get it. So what I do is I use these strips on the cake pan. See these strips, and this part will go close to the pan. But what I do is I wet it. Mix it just a little bit more. Let's see. It said for 2 minutes at medium speed. Okay, what I do is I dip it in water, and then I take my fingers and I go down. And you can get this also at the craft store, wherever the, you know, cake pans and all that. And I dip it in water, and I take my fingers and I run it down. And what that does is, if you want your cake to be flat on top, you know, instead of that little bump in the middle. Okay, I didn't time this, but I think that should be. Let's see. Let me do that just for a little bit more in case there's any bumps. Okay, so what that does is, you know the little hump in your cake, and you have to take a knife, or I have a utensil for that. You just, it's like a wire, and you just slide it across, and it cuts off the little bump the in the middle of the cake. And but you don't have to do that with this, so you just line it. But I'll show you. Okay. You see how I got this wrapped around, and there's a little pin. There's pins that go with it. I don't know whether you can see the pin, but if not, you can use straight pins with the little tip that has the little ball on the tip, just for easy handling. And this one kind of extends like a hanger, clothes hanger. And you just, I just, twirl it to even it out. Or you can use your knife or spatula to even it out. And so I preheated my oven to 350, and like I say, the directions says, I'm not used to box cakes, 350 for 8-inch, 22 to 27 minutes. So I'm going to set it at 22, and I'm going to see how, if it needs any more time, then I'll take it to 27 if need be. So put your timer on. Also, I'll be making the buttercream frosting, very, very, very simple, and show you the finished project. Also, put your cakes on the middle rack in the oven, and if it's not adjusted, put it on the middle rack for even cooking. And I will show you how it looks when I pop it out of the oven. Okay guys, my cakes are out of the oven. Now, a lot of people use toothpicks to see whether the cake is done, and that's fine, that's good. But one way to really tell also is see how, okay, it's still pretty warm. See how the cake kind of separates from the pan? Let me get a pot holder. Okay, see how it separates from the pan, and that's a way you can tell. And see how my top is flat instead of this hump in the middle. See how it's flat? Now this one is a little bit raised because I should have dipped this in the water and then put my finger down. I just wetted it, so it might not have been wet enough, but just a little bit, and you can't even tell. I'm not even going to try to even that out. So I'm going to let these cakes cool for about 5 minutes or so. Run a knife or a spatula around the middle and shift it a little bit. And this is a 8-inch pan, so I get these and this goes on bottom. The cake kind of fits on the white part. They come in different sizes, and I have so many cake pans, all the different sizes, because I sell cakes also. Well, I used to, and I'm getting back into it, and I make pound cakes or whatever, and I don't ship cakes or anything, only if you live in my general area where I can drive. It gets to be such a hassle shipping cakes and all this stuff, so I'll let the big companies do that. Also, like I said, I will be making the buttercream frosting. I'll be putting a little bit of that oil that I showed you, that lemon oil, and I don't use the extracts a lot of times, at least not with cakes. So anyway, I will get everything done. When I'm ready to make the frosting, I'll come back and finish this video.